We have some big news coming in from the United States. U.S. President Donald Trump has been evacuated from the White House Correspondents' dinner after loud bangs were heard at the press dinner. Now, this is the exact moment that you see on your screens, the visuals coming in from the White House when the loud bangs were heard. The President Trump's security team can be seen evacuating Trump from the dais. Reports do suggest that the loud bangs were likely gunshots, and the shooting suspect is what we know right now. Is in custody. Now, President, of course, this is President Trump, and there were other top leaders who were also in attendance to this dinner, and they were evacuated from this annual dinner of the White House Correspondents. What we know is that this person who is the suspect is now in custody. And what we know also is that these loud bangs were heard, and the guests at the black tie White House dinner had scrambled and they were hiding under the tables, as you can see on the screens in the visuals, where, of course, U.S. President Donald Trump was present with his wife, of course, First Lady Melania Trump. He was swiftly escorted off the stage by the Secret Service at this dinner. What we also know, and what we're hearing is that Vice President J.D. Vance and other members of Trump's cabinet were also in the attendance, were rushed out. Now, these are just the latest news that we're getting in. And to give us more details, our correspondent Susan Terani is now joining us. Susan, we are getting very little information, although we are getting some information about the suspect, of course, who is now in custody. We know that other officials were also present from the Trump administration at this place.
Yes, its full cabinet was there, many of them guests of the media organizations at this Hilton Hotel downtown in Washington, D.C., where the president was expected to deliver the speech. His entire cabinet has been evacuated. The president and First Lady are safe. We're hearing some reports from CNN that the shooter is dead and that they're trying to identify who this individual was. But it was an armed shooter that was in the lobby of the hotel. He did not get to the ballroom where the president and the attendees and the event was taking place, but he did manage to get all the way into the lobby with a weapon. We're going to get more information, of course, not only from the D.C. police, but also the Secret Service and, of course, FBI. Kash Patel, who was at that event with his partner. The press pool said that they saw him immediately after this incident rushing out of the building on his cell phone. So he was allegedly on scene while the rest of Trump's cabinet was evacuated. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was there. The Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was there. Of course, Vice President J.D. Vance as well, First Lady Melania Trump along with the president. And we also heard a statement from the White House Correspondents Association just a little while ago saying that their program is expected to resume. So the dinner and the program is expected to resume. Now, we don't know if the president is going to enter the building once again, but the dinner itself, they said, will shortly resume with more information on what happened.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Of course, Susan, we see these visuals. We do see Melania Trump, even Colonel Levitt, sitting on the table right beside Melania Trump, and, of course, Donald Trump there, who were immediately evacuated from the place. And it's interesting because this is a very high security place. We're talking about the White House, where this dinner was taking place with the highest level of delegates and, of course, the administration. And what we know right now is that these loud bangs were heard. The people had, all the attendees, they took cover, and this particular person has been now, of course, according to reports, has been shot dead. Tell us about this dinner that took place and the importance of this dinner that took place and the kind of security that was, of course, told to be there. What we know is tactical teams are also there to ensure security.
So this is an event that's happening at Hilton International Hotel, downtown Washington, D.C., a few minutes away from the White House. It is close to the White House, but this is outside of the White House perimeters, and it's at the Hilton Hotel, which is usually the venue where this annual gala takes place. And so, you know, on the one hand, you have this dinner that's with the media every year, and some politicians and guests and even ambassadors from other countries attend. But then you also usually have the President of the United States and a comedian and others, really celebrating the Washington press corps, so to say, but also the White House press corps as well. Each of these organizations bring their own guests, usually from different political parties. For example, California Governor Gavin Newsom is an attendee right now, a guest of one of the news organizations. And it's usually a time where, politicians and the media can mingle and celebrate, but it's also a time where, like I said, the event has faced a lot of criticism because many believe that, the media and politicians shouldn't cozy up together so much. And this sort of defeats the purpose of a neutral press. But nonetheless, it's a tradition that's been happening for many years, and usually U.S. presidents take part in it. But President Trump, of course, boycotted this event since becoming president during his first term, and then COVID happened. And then, now that the president had decided to go, it had made a lot of headlines. And to the extent where his supporters were very happy that he's attending, and many who have lost trust in the mainstream media had hoped that the president would go there and make a speech that would sort of roast the media, the mainstream media. But then you had his critics as well. There were some 250 veteran journalists who said that they were boycotting the event. They didn't want to take part in the event because President Trump was attending it. So just really a snapshot of the polarized environment that we are right now in the United States when it comes to U.S. politics and America's public opinion about the media, but also America's public opinion about the president as well. Strong feelings on both sides. So it was a highly, highly publicized event. And I think once we get more information, I think it's going to be, once again, extremely scrutinized. The Secret Service is going to go under extreme scrutiny, and the security apparatus is going to go under extreme scrutiny, that even a gunman was able to get so close to an event like this with thousands of participants. And how he managed to bypass the security and get into the lobby.
Right. And these are we are getting more visuals from the place. Let's just breathe, let's just watch. A lot of visuals are coming in, and of course it will keep on coming in from this prisoner. Let's just watch now. Now, of course, more coming in from this breaking news. A CNN report has suggested that the shooter is dead. The attendees included President Trump had taken cover at this black-tie White House Correspondents' dinner after loud noises were heard. We also know that, according to reports, 4 to 6 loud bangs were heard in this vicinity. Trump, along with Vice President J.D. Vance and other top leaders of the U.S., were evacuated as soon after these loud bangs were heard. We see from the visuals, Melania Trump, Donald Trump, even Connie Levette, White House spokesperson, were sitting on the table, after which the loud bangs were heard. They were taking cover, and then they were evacuated immediately. We have more visuals of the security team, Secret Service, lined up with their guns, trying to locate where this bangs were heard from. Reports do say that Trump, Vance are now safe. What we know is a CNN report has suggested that the shooter is now dead. This is, of course, a dinner gala that has taken place at Washington Hill.